Hi, here I am in the middle of my mess. I showed my white rabbit a while ago, an introduction to the white rabbit, and I made this rabbit a while ago. I just never quite finished her, never finished dressing her. I have to go find out where I put my pattern too if I want to make any more of them. But what I figured we would start doing is dressing my rabbit. I always called these my Renaissance rabbits because I make them in a dress and I give them puff sleeves and I give them the little round floral band around their heads, and they get beautiful sandals on their big feet with and I put pearls and they lace up their legs. So I think this time I'm going to try to do as much as I can with you. Let me set this little rabbit down so she fits in the screen better. And I hope this inspires you to try something like this, even if you, either make your own animal to dress or you buy one that's already done and you just make an outfit for it. It is a lot of fun. And I'll show you, I've had a lot of my supplies for doll making for many years, but I bought this material is actually placemats that were a set of two that I got at a dollar store. And this is the kind of fabric was buying at Joann's, and you still can buy it at Joann's. It's kind of bridal fabric. But I used it, and this dress is too small for this rabbit, and you can see it's an ivory color. But this is what I used for the outer dress, something like this. It's just a tube of fabric. This one's a little wrinkled, but then all I do, let me turn it inside out. All I do is I sew a seam to close the tube. You can do this with your sewing machine or you can even do it by hand. It does not matter. And then I just put a dart on each side, which is pretty much just folding the fabric together like you were going to make another seam. Only instead of making a seam, you start in a little bit at one end, say the top, and then you would stitch it out towards the edge until you come to the end. Back stitch it, trim off the excess, and you have a dart. And I put one on each side to give the dress a little bit of shape once it goes on the rabbit, because the rabbit I want wider at the bottom than towards the top. And then you proceed to decorate. You just add decorations as you go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to make one of these skirts that will fit on this rabbit, and then I will come back and we'll put the shell on the rabbit and we will continue to decorate. I will show you how I make the sandals that go on these cute little rabbit feet, and we will go from there. So I hope you enjoy this, and thanks for watching. This will most likely be a long video. I will leave as much as I can in, but it's going to be kind of difficult to show you everything. What I can't show you, I will try to describe to you. So thank you for joining me, and I will be back. We're back. So I took my rabbit and my placemats, and we went up to the sewing machine because I don't have my sewing machine in this room, and I sewed the two placemats together, and then I measured them, and I only needed a little bit to make it wide enough to go over the rabbit's head. So what I did was I cut one of the table placemats down. I just cut a strip, cut it off. And then what I did was I sewed the tube together, and then I had just one big tube of this fabric. Now, when I did that, I had two seams kind of close together. So I brought it up and I overlapped it at the top. And I pinned it. And then I pulled it out so that the sides were out. I made the 2 darts that I was talking about. And then what I did, my clock chimed, is I just took and did a zigzag stitch around the top just to hold this together and to make, just to kind of finish the top edge. Although you can see that this is ravelly material. It's not going to matter because when I stand the rabbit up, that's really still, push it out just a little. When I stand the rabbit up, this dress is going to be too big anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set her down, and I'm going to take and turn this little dress right side out so all the seams and sewing are on the inside. And you notice I'm not ironing it and taking out the wrinkles. I mean, you can if you want to. I figure by the time I'm done, these wrinkles will be replaced with other wrinkles to be replaced with other wrinkles, because I do a lot of what I call fudge sewing. Because now what I do is I just sight measure her to see how this dress is fitting. And the dress itself only I'm going to have under her arms, and a little bit of that white netting is going to show above the dress. So now I start to consider the hem actually from the top. I don't mess with the bottom unless I want to put lace on, and generally I would put the lace around the bottom before I sewed the tube closed so I could work on in a flat line. So anyway, all I'm doing now is I'm taking and folding the top of the dress under some. And then what I do is I try to make it so the fold is somewhat even. And I don't want the dress to be too long on her. But pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of thread and a needle, and I'm going to gather the top of this dress so that it closes around the top of the bunny, which is going to make the rest of it kind of bell out some. And that, I want the crocheted lace from the petticoat to show underneath this dress all the way around. And what I may do after is I may take and hand sew some type of a trim around the bottom of the dress. Generally what I do before I put this dress on is I will go through and I will put some beads on this material itself. So I know that this is going to fit over the rabbit now for the way that this sets. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off the rabbit, and I'm going to do some hand decorating on the actual body of the dress itself. I'll take some small pearls and stuff and maybe follow some of the design in this fabric, which I'm sorry if it's glary because it is very shiny. Stands all by itself. And I will decorate this up some, and then I will come back and I'll show you what I've done, and we'll fit it to the rabbit. Thanks for sticking with me. See you in a little. Okay, stopping back quick. I've fit the tunic over the bunny, and it fits her pretty good. I had to go and make my darts longer so that it would draw the top in a little bit more. And it still looks a little loose, but I still have more decorating to do on it. This will not come off her again. I used some crochet cotton, like you would crochet maybe a doily with, and I did a long running stitch around the top of this satiny material at the top of the dress. And then I pulled it tight and gathered it. And now it's tied in a knot underneath the top of this little dress. And I can adjust the pleats a little bit if I want to until I get it situated the way I like it, and then I will sew it down. At the bottom of her dress, I did hand sew on this green and white trim, which I think is really pretty. And I haven't done any beading yet. This is the skirt that's underneath the dress that has the tulle with the lace attached. It doesn't show right now, and it may not. It may just be if anybody looks, she has a pretty slip on. And now what I think I'm going to do is take this lace trim and I will work the gathers a little bit better, and then I will sew this trim along the top. And I'm probably going to put a few little pearls and beads, maybe some clear ones or maybe even crystals, along this dress a little bit. And I'll be back to show you what it looks like at the next stage. And after we finish that, I may start working on her sandals at that point. So I hope you've enjoyed it so far. I know it's kind of hard when I can't show you every stitch I take, but that's pretty much all I've done. I will show you more in a bit. Thank you. Okay, well, I'm back. We've got a little bit further. I put the dress on and I added this. Let me see if I can get some down here. Excuse my mess. I've added this trim around the top of her dress. And then I took some of my lace and I made kind of a top part of her dress. Added a little bit more of that bottom trim to her back. And I put a bead here. And these are hooked on with little flower sequins and clear beads. Here, here, and here. So it's kind of like paper crafting. You take little pieces of this and little pieces of that and you put them together and you decorate. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to stop for now. I'll be back again because I make a headpiece for her. And we also have to do sandals for her bunny feet. So until the next time, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this White Rabbit overview. Thanks for watching. Have a colorful